the meaningless appreciation of this mediocre nation. I've heard the mindless repetition of empty words without tradition turn original verbs into submission. I smell blissful ignorance addiction, but I guess I wouldn't be right if I said a blunt was like a baby pipe. There ain't gonna be no revolution tonight. Half my warriors as high as a kite, lost and they lost all they fight. And I've tasted the bitter tragedy of lives wasted, and men who glimpsed the darkness inside but never faced it. And it's a shame that most of y'all are following sheep, wallowing deeper than the darkness. You're falling asleep.
All right, and my old go-to chords right there. That's where I usually warm up. Once again, we're at the Asbury Circle with your boy Rick Dahrouge, and I want to talk about, not that I want to talk about it, but I'm going to have to, how I got involved with a hip-hop group called Spooks from Philly, New York. They were like kind of like Fugees vibe, but they had their own thing, and I was supposed to produce one song with these guys. I got hooked up with them through, Sigma Sounds, Joe Tarshia, Billy Terrell, via my father. So early on, it was really us hooking up with the Philadelphia crew that gave us the belief that what we had loved so deeply, which was getting into this flow state, 4 nights a week. It was like the pharmacy was right around the corner, and it involved no drugs at all. At that point, I had read the book Flow from Csikszentmihalyi, so I was aware that, we have a really good thing here, man. We're like dropping into the pocket on a regular basis, and we were all very proud of what we had. We wanted to make it last a lifetime. That's how much we loved it, and that's how any couple or anybody who falls in love, they want to make it last a lifetime. That's why they get married. But things don't turn out the way we want them to, or we think they should have, or whatever. But life goes on, and we learn from it. And during those early years, which I would say was the funnest time, because that was a huge evolutionary era, we ended up working with a group called Spooks. They called themselves that, and no shame in that. And we were just supposed to I was supposed to produce one single with them, one song. That was the idea. It was because our labels were connected. They were with Artemis, and we were on Izzy Records with Sigma Sound. They didn't really even exist. It was just something that was supposed to be taking place. It was something that they were actually forming. But you had Artemis, you had Izzy, and we were with Sigma, which was supposed to be Izzy. And the whole thing was just to meet these people, great group of people, and the whole idea was to show them some vibes. They ended up liking like 6 songs. So they ended up doing like half their album here. So it was weird, you know, that now this thing's turning into much more than I thought, you know, and I'm trying to just focus on my band, and we just get caught up in doing this, which again turned into a great learning experience. Looking back on it, I'm all grateful for it, even though there's always crazy drama that happens when you get a bunch of musicians with a bunch of ideas in their head. But the thing that was not flattering, but the thing that I was surprised is that I gave them a bunch of grooves, and they come back saying, we like this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one, you know? And so we ended up doing a lot of work with them. at some point they wanted us to be their backing band, but we were already shopping Borealis for its own sake because that's what we were all committed to. And so they were something that we were willing to work with, but not play behind. And if we had the time, I wouldn't have cared if the rest of the group went up and backed them up. That would have been fine with me, but I wasn't going to go be their backing band. You know, I was really focused on writing and just doing what I thought was my job. You know, what's your job in the band? And my job in the band was to front the band and to provide music with the band. And that's what I did. So it turned into a weird thing where, like, there was, you know, beef and shit like that. And like I said, I'm trying to stay away from the shadow side of everything, but that shit happens. It happens in fucking every fucking walk of life. And in the end, I'm glad I stuck to my decision of, look, we have our own path that we want to follow. We didn't want to be the backup group for these guys. But I was definitely willing to go up there, play a show with them, do a couple shows, but we didn't want to be like the house band for whatever they had going because we were already shopping deals. We were shopping deals and I wanted to focus on that. And it was really for protection of what we had instead of saying, hey, this is an opportunity, but we were already doing shit. And I still stand by that because we had our own path. Now, things I've seen turned out to be their biggest hit. A lot of this stuff I wasn't aware of. I wasn't aware of the books and all this stuff like that, man. My head was in the music sand, and I was not a very wise businessman. I wish at least one of the 3 core members were like business savvy so that we could make wiser decisions, which didn't later lead to like disgruntlement between all of us, you know, because music is such a beautiful thing, you know, and I guess that's a part of working around anything that's highly valued, whether it's art, you know, the fighting business, any business. But especially for me, music is just something that is enjoyable and you get a few bumps here and there. And the greatest thing that we could all do is just get over those little bumps, man. Let's work it all out. Let's work it all out instead of walking away being disgruntled. So I had to learn all that shit too, of not giving a fuck what other people think when you're just being honest from the heart. I can't be more honest with you. After that, it's out of your hands. So yes, hey, we did half their album. I don't know if they did a second album. Did they do a second album?
No.
They never did a second album, and I'm not sure about their whole story. I don't want to talk their story, but our affiliation was that. And, you know, what opportunities could have fucking taken place and what projects and good stuff that could have happened. I'm sure there was more to be done after we had done our album and they did their album. We definitely could have got back together. And it just, you know, shit happens. But ultimately, looking back, I'm very proud of that whole situation. It was a part of my evolution. It was a part of the evolution of the band. And I really stayed out of the drama side and let other people get into the drama side, you know? And that's why I'm a fucking solitary man. Because you could be an angel and you could repent for all the things that you've done. And you could say, oh, I'm sorry, or you can meditate for 5 years to clear up any kind of issues that you may have, but at the end, you're a human being, man. You know, and you gotta kind of stand up for what you believe in, or you, like Goggins said, you will become the biggest bitch the world has seen. And that's why I'm here, man, to represent and to own my shit. Let's own our shit with love and everything else. Full human spectrum. Peace out. Asbury Circle, Ricky D.
Like your heart is warm.